Alrighty, welcome back everyone. I hope you're all ready for our What's Next session, where Akeneo's Chief Product Officer, Andy Tyra, and Akeneo's Director of Product and Engineering, Chuck Hardy, will be giving you all a sneak peek into the future of Akeneo. Please welcome to the stage, Andy and Chuck.
Hello, Unlock Digital. Wow, there's hundreds of you. I can hear them. Chuck, can you hear them?
Those amazing people. Oh, look at them. What a crowd.
Incredible. Coming straight to you live from Paris, I'm Andy. I'm Chief Product Officer at Akeneo. And from somewhere in the UK, I am proud to present Chuck, who is somehow off to my left. Chuck is here to show you something very cool today. My job is to get out of the way as quickly as possible. But to set the stage for what he's going to show you, I'll talk you through a few things. Throughout the course of the day, you've seen some of the advancements in product capability that we've brought forward just in the last quarter. Now, this is the part every year where instead of looking at everything that's come forward, we want to look into the future and talk about what's next and where we're going. 2 years ago, as part of this segment, we talked about the importance of extensibility. Now, you've seen that you can live vibe code extensions on top of Akeneo. You've seen that done right in front of you today. Last year, we gave an early look at what's now become the data architect agent. And now you've seen the role that DAA is playing in designing the right schema inside of Akeneo in response to channels and other external data. But this year is a pivotal year. The era of agentic commerce and product discovery is upon us. And so we'd like to give you our take on this change and show you where we're going with Akeneo PIM and Product Cloud in this context. So, as you've heard and said simply, the problems that your PXM solution is here to solve, they're all getting bigger, faster, and harder. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, Daft Punk, get off the stage. Sorry, I had to bring a little bit of our French culture to the conversation. So let's talk about what your PXM solution is actually there to do and the forces that are now acting on it inside of the agentic commerce era. So where's this all going? You heard Roman and Sarah talking earlier and illustrating how PXM is simultaneously optimizing for comprehensiveness, velocity, and trust. So let's cover that ground and that model again. But let's talk this time about what we need our systems to do in response. So starting with comprehensiveness, having comprehensive product records has always been the ultimate goal of PXM. We're trying to make sure that your products can address the customer needs and intents as they are expressed during the discovery and purchase experience. And to do that, we're essentially building a map of our product record to customer intent as closely as we can. Now, to be frank, we used to rely on our customers to do a lot of this work for us. They would map their intent to some keywords. They would map their intent to some browse hierarchies. But now, being truly comprehensive basically means that we need to directly address an explosion of customer intent that is, for all intents and purposes, approaching infinity. So what do the systems in PXM need to do? They need to adapt so that they can handle this explosion of infinite intent. At the same time, the market is moving faster than ever. Systems that govern commerce are becoming more autonomous. The stimulus and response happening in the market is happening at a faster pace. Algorithms are talking to other algorithms and abstracting the market forces away from us, pushing tons of data in a continuous loop, and the humans in the loop increasingly can't keep up. So we also need systems that automate and adapt that end-to-end loop in real time to connect performance in the market to the product record in a continuously automated way. But at the same time, customer trust remains paramount. A single misset customer expectation harms sales, harms product perception, harms brand perception. And the sheer volume of data being pushed into the market means that we think that customer trust as a baseline is approaching an all-time low. So we need systems that also keep data integrity high, keep governance levels high, despite the infinite intent and increasing velocity acting on them. So you can see the problem, right? These three things have always acted in tension. We've always been optimizing across the three, but AI is catalyzing all three all at once, pushing them further apart and increasing the tension between them. So what do we need in response to all of this AI-fueled tension? What do we need to create inside of the PXM space? Well, to begin with, we need a new UX metaphor. Systems of record, in their essence, have assumed that there's some structured data at rest and some forms and UI on top of that data to help humans act on the data, create, read, update, delete. But in a world where we have to address infinite customer intent at the breakneck pace of autonomous, non-deterministic decision engines, this isn't going to cut it. Right, Chuck?
Absolutely. And of course, in my world of software engineering, the way that we're solving problems is completely changing. You won't see us writing code, writing tests, deploying, debugging, monitoring over and over again. Rather, every single software engineer has the ability to build and monitor their own virtual workforce of AI agents. It gives them the ability to execute multiple paths in parallel to find the right solution, creating time to focus on learning and adapting towards real impact. We get to embrace imperfection at first and then iterate, because the cost of iteration has never been so low and the value of quick market feedback has never been so important.
Exactly. We've seen firsthand inside of Akeneo how effective this way of working in this tool set can be as we build software. And so another way to think about where we want to take this is we think this is the future that we need to bring into existence for every single one of you inside of a PXM context. We think that your Akeneo product cloud will become the Agentic control tower. We will give you a team of digital experts, AI agents, that interact with you and your teams. If you're a PIM user, you're no longer filling out forms and clicking buttons so much as you're managing a collaborative team of AI agents and humans. And this helps us scale in that high velocity, high intent, low trust environment. The metaphor here, we want to help you become air traffic control for your product record. So that's this top layer. That's the evolved agentic user experience. That's what we're going to show you in just a little bit. But before we do that, Chuck, what else do we need to make this successful?
Agents, Andy, lots of agents. This virtual agentic layer of experts, each adept at a specific dimension of PXM, works together with you and your team to help you deliver impact. Agents from across the product cloud work on your behalf to help achieve outcomes faster than ever before. Whether it's optimizing your data structure, helping fully enrich products, connecting and mapping systems and the data between them, and of course, geo and sales channel insights, just to name a few. And to help you manage this fleet of agents, we're going to give you your own Akeneo AI, an AI that can both guide and act on your behalf, which we've affectionately here called Ziggy, and we'll see it in action in a minute. And we're looking forward to seeing what you name yours and what you do with it.
Okay, that's great. But the final piece of this, what about the systems of record themselves? Product data, inventory and availability, and yes, pricing. If we need to take faster action on a much bigger surface area, we need systems that can do three things much different and much better than they do today. They need to become much more adaptable at the data structure layer. Reversals and evolutions of schema and the data within need to become part of the day-to-day routine of operating these systems. They can't be a big, expensive, long project every time we need to do it. Second, they need to build deep connection to the channels that they serve. This feedback loop in response to channel performance needs to be tight. It needs to be fast firing. And this is the new way that we can respond to the channels that we see emerging in front of us and the new discovery experiences that we see happening. And finally, they need to be extensible by anyone, vibe codable, as you've seen. Our partners, Akeneo ourselves, and our customers all need to be able to engage with these systems and extend them and customize them to serve their needs in this topic. They need to be able to serve not just Akeneo's agentic layer, but also any agents that you can dream up or UX you can conjure. In our spring release, you've seen these ideas take their early form. And now, with Chuck's help, I'd like to invite you to peer into the future. Not so far into the future, if I'm honest. Everything we're about to show you will be available within the next few weeks to at least a handful of you. So, Chuck, would you like to show them?
Absolutely, my privilege. So you come into work in the morning. You take a seat at your desk, cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever you like. And you're greeted with recommended actions from across the product cloud. Actions you can either delegate to Ziggy or actions that you can collaborate with it on. Looking here, let's pick one. So we can see that Ziggy is recommending that we enrich these 5 attributes in order to prevent publication or to prevent blockage of a publication. Jumping straight in, Ziggy offers us paths forward. It can help us along the journey and we can do much of the work, or we can enrich with AI. Ziggy proposes the plan that it believes we should follow. And we can see here it thinks we should set up an AI configuration to help define how we generate content, a workflow for reviewing, and a rule to ensure that we're future-proof. I think that's a great plan. Of course, we can collaborate on changing it. Now, because Ziggy knows everything about my system, it's able to recommend the reuse of existing items. In this case, it thinks we should create something new. It's told me everything it thinks we should do, and I can collaborate with it on making any changes before we continue. But what's really great here is it's exposing the governance as we go. It's telling me what I can do next and what it can do on my behalf. So I think this is great. So let's go ahead. Look at that. Ziggy does the work for me. It then allows me to open up what it's done. It moves off to one side into collaboration mode so I can make changes and ask questions. I'm then able to look at all of what it's done, review it, and when I'm happy to continue, I am in full control. I can jump straight back in and continue. Now, in Ziggy's plan, it recommended workflows next, and there it's done it. Created the workflows, told me what state it's in, moved off to one side for collaboration if needed, allowed me to review the changes that have occurred, and when ready, continue. Now I know from Ziggy that it asked me to review and enrich some items together. I can do that with sequential edit.
So while Chuck does this, I'll explain a little bit more about why he's doing it. This is part of our effort to ensure that there's a safety check, there's a human in the loop. So as part of this exercise, Chuck and Ziggy together will navigate through several products that would be affected by all of this automation. And it gives him a chance to do a quality check. It gives him a chance to catch any errors or things that we want to change about the configuration. And as you can see, he still has Ziggy off to the right-hand side as he's doing this. So he can continue the conversation with Ziggy and they can collaborate and fine-tune the exercise and the eventual automation they set up together.
Fantastic. In fact, Andy, it just enriched those products. Should we show one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely. What else you got?
Okay. On the second tab, when we enrich products, it takes into account other attributes from your PIM, information from your suppliers, PDFs, images, and various other things to really help you automatically enrich products. And what we're bringing to you soon is the ability for the AI to go search the web and to bring content from online to help it get smarter and make sure that your products are enriched far closer to where you want them to be. We're really excited to see customers use that.
That's amazing.
I love it. Definitely one of my favorite. So jumping straight back in, it's telling us that it thinks we should move forward once done and create some rules. So done. Let's keep going. Look at that. Again, Ziggy does the work, moves to one side, Let me review all the changes. And when I'm ready, enable. Now I'm future-proof.
Hey, Chuck, what happens if we do make a mistake along the way, or Ziggy makes a mistake along the way?
Not a problem at all. We can always jump into the process tracker where everything that we have done has been tracked. We can clearly see when we've collaborated with Ziggy on doing work. And at each point, the group of changes we've been making have been captured in a change set. And where Ziggy told us, we're able to simply go back in time and revert.
Amazing. So we're getting the benefit of AI at every step of our enrichment process, but the safety of both our human intervention and this history and ability to revert many of the actions.
Yeah, absolutely. And that gives me more ability to have confidence in how I move forward. Now, Andy, I don't know if you remember, we were talking the other day about the fact that the better we structure our products in Akeneo, the more sales we're likely to have because mainly of the reduced error rates. Do you remember that?
I do remember, and I was just talking about DAA and the importance of connected data modeling.
Great. I'd love to actually, I was thinking about showing that. So if we jump back over, we could just ask Ziggy. So have a look at my attributes in my data model and see if anything can be improved. All right, let's see what it does. Now, I know it's going to give me a good answer because Ziggy knows everything about me and my system. It knows how Akeneo features work and how to model information. And we can see here, even from the top item, that it's already picked up. We have attributes that are very similar. That should likely be one. And that our brand is far better suited as a reference entity. So let's give that a go. Can you change the brand to a reference entity? Let's see what it does. That makes sense. So before it continues, it really needs to make sure that I understand what is going on. It's telling me that upstream and downstream systems are using this attribute and what actions I should take before and after in order to continue. So I understand. Let's keep going. Look at that. Ziggy changed my data model, migrated the information, and told me how to move forward with the new features that I now have at my disposal. What I really love about this is that as best practices evolve over time, as new features come out on the product cloud, Ziggy's able to keep me current and allow me to adapt without much knowledge or time needed at all. Now, to help me and my team manage this fleet of AI agents, we're able to clearly see all the work that is happening in one place. We're able to see what the team is doing and how they're working with Ziggy and what Ziggy is off doing on its own on our behalf. Now, we've accomplished a lot today, and we've done it in very little time, and we've shrunk the amount of knowledge needed to act into the smallest possible amount.
Amazing, Chuck. Thank you so much for that sneak peek. So that's the end of the demo. And now, as we look forward, we hope you're as excited as we are about the future of PXM, and we'll be honored to continue innovating on your behalf and act as your guide as things continue to change. As you head off to the remaining sessions, we'd like to offer you an opportunity to scan this QR code where you'll be presented with a form to give us some input on how you imagine you'd like to use something like this. So we'll give you 10 to 15 seconds to do that. We'll wait.
I love it. Actually, Andy, while we wait, I was wondering, what are you going to call your Akeneo AI?
Well, I was thinking of naming mine after you, Chuck. I was thinking of calling mine Chuck AI.
It's too kind.
What are you going to call yours?
I was going to call mine Andy AI.
Oh.
Oh.
Right. Well, as always, we do our best work when we're building alongside you, so we'll look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for your time today, and enjoy the rest of the sessions and content at Unlock Digital. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you to both Andy and Chuck. It's always so exciting to see what's coming down the road for Akeneo and what's possible. Now, please make sure to join us for our very last session of the day, which is hosted by Akeneo partner InBetween, as they sit down with a representative from Port West to discuss how they've leveraged Akeneo to automate data sheets and custom catalogs in 28 different languages. You won't want to miss it, so we'll see you there.